Hey everybody, hi, how's it going? It's Thursday, and here we are. Forza Horizon 6 is out now. If you buy the expensive version of the game, the regular version, the Game Pass version, I guess, is out in about 4 days. It's the rollout is a little weird. It's out now on Xbox platforms, but it does not roll out on Steam until tonight. Because Steam doesn't do, I don't think Steam will do phased rollouts. Like they're doing like a, well, I don't know, whatever. It was out at 9 in the morning here in these the west coast of these United States, and then tonight the Steam version will launch. But again, that's only for people who are paying for the expensive version of the game. I have a full review of the game up over at jeff.zone. You can go read that for free. It's technically Patreon, but it's not it's not behind a paywall. You can go read the full review. I just thought I would show some of it off for people who want to see it in action. I'm not going to turn on streamer mode, so like when this video goes up on YouTube, who knows what will happen to it. I assume it will be just demonetized, but will run just fine. That's life in the big city, I guess, right? Well, let's get into it. It's a car game. It's set in Japan this time, Tokyo and the surrounding area, which is something I think people have been asking for or hoping for, at least for kind of a while now. And it's cool that they did this. I wish they did more. Ultimately, that's my takeaway from a lot of this game. They have made another Forza Horizon game, and you mostly know what that means if you've played any of the most recent ones. They've made some tweaks here and there to some of the progression and a few other things that we'll maybe get into, but by and large, this is they made another Forza Horizon. And that's a good thing. These are generally speaking good games. Turn this controller on here. There we go. We'll see how this runs. This is turned all the way up. This is running at full, this is 1440p, but this is everything turned up all the way, settings wise. And
welcome back, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks. Let's see here. The car I've been driving the most, probably this one. But it's got like 600 cars in it. It's funny, like, like they do the thing of you pick a car and they give you like 3 options, and one of the early options for cars is like a fucking big old Jimmy, like a big GMC fucking, and you're just like, no one in Japan has one of these fucking things. What are you doing? Like it's just like, it feels like a product of licensing in a lot of ways. And I wish that there was I wish there was more Japan in the Japan game, if that makes any sense. Culturally speaking. We can go spin Brodies in a field. And get drift points and destruction points, like all the stuff that you did in the past few Forza games. Though I will say that the map here has a lot more is more mountainous, and so it's not quite like Mexico where you had just like these huge flat areas all over the place full of trees to just like bash through and just like get infinite skill points. But it's still pretty much that. And it looks great. I think it's a really fantastic looking game. Let's see. We can talk a little bit about the progression. They kind of broke it up in a couple of different ways here, where you're progressing through the festival and you're also progressing through what they call Discover Japan. And so they have like a lot of side events. This includes things like street races and toge, things that are not officially part of the Horizon Festival. Like food delivery and some of the other kind of sillier stuff will get you progress there. And when you level up... Sorry. Still lingering cough from this cold I had. When you level up the Discover Japan side of things, that opens up things like barn finds and some of the other stuff. Here's the delivery driver side gig. You still make your own characters. The characters don't speak in this one. I played the previous game yesterday and was reminded, like, oh, right, the character talked in that one. It's kind of weird. It maybe doesn't matter so much. Can you I have not unlocked flossing. That's a good question. Can you floss? I don't... I'm not sure if this has flossing in it. It has jazz hands. That's what I currently have selected for one of my emotes. To actually come to a stop here.
You have arrived at your destination.
Here, thanks.
All right, the customer has a request with their order. They're an aspiring wristband holder and want you to show off your skills on your delivery route.
All right, here's my skills. I can break shit. The festival has come to town, Tokyo. You're fucked. All your trees are getting knocked down. All your fences, all your everything. You're doomed. We're just gonna blast fucking drum and bass for like a week and a half and wreck everything and then leave. All right, that's enough for 3 stars right there, so we can just drive the rest of the way.
In 400 yards, turn left.
Okay, there's actually a wall here. For a second, I was like, wait, can I just go straight and just bash through whatever? But no, there's an actual wall.
100 yards, turn left.
I have my horn set to dial-up modem. Oh, did I spend too much time driving slow?
Unlucky with that one. Want to take on another order?
fuck off. So I wonder, it says start a new shift. I wonder if it's going to make me do that one again, or if it just kind of rotates to the next. Because it seems like you can kind of do these. Like you every so often you get a promotion.
The route has been set to the pickup location.
And so it almost seems like you can just kind of do this
Turn left.
near infinitely.
Turn left. In 200 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Okay.
In 400 yards.
You know, there's stuff about Tokyo that you simply can't replicate in a driving game. And it's like, you know, you never get to go where the pedestrians are generally. These are kind of the tightest streets you'll find yourself on. But like, there's no one here. You know, they don't put you in a position to run people over. Surprise, surprise, right? Like there's, you know, but like, I don't know, man. Like there's sort of a.
The customer is in Japan specifically for the festival.
Ugh.
He wants you to deliver the order Horizon style. So drive to impress, I guess.
Turn right.
Okay, let's try to get there
Turn right.
while getting these skill points. So like, you know, like you'll go on these like day trip side missions and they'll be like, this is the famous Shibuya crossing. Did you know how many pedestrians cross this every day? But like there are no pedestrians there because it's a driving game, you know? And so like there's just like a density problem of like the thing that makes Tokyo so like the energy of Tokyo to me is always about how packed it is and how dense everything is in the city itself. And that's something that you know, it's very difficult to recreate and still have a fun driving game. Like, oh, the streets are packed and traffic is terrible. Like, that's not good for a driving game. But at the same time, oh, I've gotten like no skill points. No, it's just going to count it.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, well.
Great. We have more orders ready if you want to take on another job.
No, I'm good. And it has like toge races. That's kind of like one of the new race types, or maybe like that might be the only new race type in the game. Well, these trailblazers, they've done trailblazers before. But toge, you know, the big mountain races, like, but it's just a one-on-one race. Like, there's nothing. I don't know. Like, this game is a lot of talk. This game is a lot of like people on the radio trying to tell you, oh, you're gonna go do this sick thing, and then you go and do it, and it's like it's just kind of another race. You know, and so the downhill races look nice, but they're not given a like they don't feel special. Like this game doesn't feel like truly tapped into anything cultural when it comes to Japan and Japanese racing and all of that. Like everything feels very surface level. You know, it's like, oh, we're gonna go to this famous parking area where all the people bring all their sick cars, and you're like, oh, cool, and you get there, and then it just like fades down and fades back up, and suddenly you're in a race and you're in a Ferrari or something, and you're like, oh, okay. Like I thought it might be cool to see like people hanging out and doing things. But you know, that's not Forza, right? Like Forza's never been about like here's a bunch of extensive out of car stuff. It's, you know, like it's hard to, you know, on one hand it's hard to knock the game for being what it's always been, but also when people said, man, they should do this game in Tokyo, that's the stuff that I think a lot of people like dream about, like the bigger picture. but the story is still just like you're some person entering this festival and you are going to the top, and you know, like you are going to win the festival or whatever. And that stuff is same as it ever was. And it's absolutely solid. Like there's nothing I would say that is like dramatically wrong with this game. I think that maybe there's some things that the last game did in Mexico that I think are like a lot more interesting and like culturally like closer to something real, like the Horizon Adventure chapters they did last time out, where you're kind of like going to a location and doing things, and you're setting up a radio station, you know, like there's like stuff that makes it feel bigger than it is. But this, they kind of pull back from that aspect of it, and you're just kind of like, as you see in the corner there, I need to get another 2,000 points, and then I will be able to do the next showcase event, and then some more events will populate around the map, and I need to fill that meter again. And then I think if I fill that meter again, that is the last wristband, and so that'll be technically be the end of the festival campaign, or coming up on the end of the festival campaign. And yeah, you know, some of the showcase events are neat. They've done a good job of differentiating those and adding variety to those in a way that the early Horizon games did not have. So that, you know, they've gotten a lot better at that over the years. And yeah, you know, it's you know what it is, and I wish that it was more. That's my takeaway. Like, and that goes into the music a lot as well, which you know, like it just, again, the culture of this. Like, now I really hate the Horizon Festival. Like in story. Like the nature of the Horizon Festival is that it's the most soulless fucking EDM festival. Like, a bunch of fucking British dudes show up in your town and put together the same 8 radio stations they put together for last year's festival, and then they go, "Oi mate, we're gonna drive around real good, yeah, the drifting, yeah," and then like there's no, like, that's the culture of it. Like, that is the culture. Like, it doesn't matter what city the festival goes to, the festival consumes all. And like, that's funny in its own way, and I think that, like, that if that was the story of the game, I think that would be kind of cool. You know, but like, a lot of the stuff is here. Like, Hospital Records is here. If you like songs that go doom pa boom pa boom pa boom pa, they got a whole station fucking full of that drum and bass. The new station is Gotcha City Radio, which is Japanese music, but it's literally just a fucking hodgepodge of Japanese music. Like, YMO is on here, and like it's just kind of fucking all over the place. Instead of like dedicated genre-based Japanese radio stations, which they could have done and would have actually been really awesome, it just sort of feels very thrown together. Like, you could have put some T-Square in this. You could have put the F1, you know, there's like iconic racing music out of Japan that you know you could have leaned on. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much more that could have been done to make this a better experience. You know? And I think, like, leaning into that culture, I think, would have been just a better game overall. But they didn't. And that doesn't mean the game is bad. It just, for me, it just, like, every step of the way playing this game has been this feeling of like, oh man, what if they fucking did this? Or what if they did this? Or like, they could have had a dedicated, you know, city pop station. Personally, I'm kind of getting to be mostly over city pop at this point. It's come and gone a handful of times. But like, that would have been a thing they could have done. Is it looking muted? Is it looking? Let me actually, one thing that may help here. If I turn off HDR, maybe this will, because it is tone mapping the game for you, but this might actually help with just some color stuff. Yeah, sorry. I always forget to do that. They've changed up some things around some of the collectibles. So fast travel is now free, which I think is rad. Anywhere you've driven, you can just fast travel there. You don't have to go like, oh, I need to smash the fast travel boards, and I need to, like do this to reduce the cost of fast travel, which is what they've done in the past. And instead of having fast travel boards, they now have like mascot statues that are everywhere. And so there's still, XP boards for you to smash, and there's also these mascots. It looks like there's one over this way. What's the deal with the message in the top left? I think I changed the radio station when a skill song was on, and it is trying to get me to go back to that station to finish the skill song. I don't know. That seems like a bug to me. Thanks for coming to this temple. Could you fuck it up, please? Yes. I need to smash this. That is one of the regional mascots. Nice temple, assholes. Oh, sorry. Oh, nice temple, mate. Whoa! There's some dark road over here that we haven't been on. If I'm going to climb up the driven on all roads leaderboard, we need to fill in these gaps. So that's, I think that stuff is good. I think that like the way they kind of do the road discovery and all the leaderboard stuff is fun. And it's more of that. And so I think, if you're coming to this and going like, hey man, it's more Horizon, that's exactly what it is. And it's still good. It's a good game. They haven't changed much about it. And that's going to be your deciding factor, is that they haven't changed much about it, How's the music selection? I think it's bad. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. I think the Japanese station is like really underwhelming as it is. Like there's like 2 YMO songs on there, and that's kind of awesome. But like generally not like it just feels like it's missing. Again, there's a lot of stuff you could do. They could have. There kind of should be a whole station full of fucking Eurobeat, right? They put cars out here for you to buy at a discount. But I feel like they could have, they could have thrown a bone like fan service wise, like Eurobeat wise, like yeah, like this game could sound a lot more like Initial D, than it does. And a lot of that just feels like a lot of missed opportunities. I mentioned in the review kind of the specter or the boogeyman hanging over a lot of the music discussion. Is my understanding is that dealing with JazzRack sucks, and JazzRack is the rights organization that handles music in Japan. And so negotiating with JazzRack on anything, especially related to music in a video game, like people wonder why Rock Band Japan didn't happen, and like some of that other stuff, like JazzRack fucking sucks to work with. And so it may be that they had a lot of big dreams about the soundtrack, and then reality sunk in, and they're like, oh, like to get what we want to get is going to be an unreasonable amount of money. I would not be shocked if that was like absolutely the case. on the soundtrack, but like the end result is the same, right? Like it's a fucking bummer. Like it feels like that it could have just been so much more. But like I don't want to undercut, you know, it's hard, man. I am disappointed by the game ultimately, but like it is still really good. It is still a really good Forza Horizon game. You know, like the layout of the city and everything. It's like it's fun to drive around and just do shit, which I think is the hallmark of a great Horizon game. And I think the last 3 of them that they've made have been really good for like different reasons, you know? And so this is still a good game. It's just not, it ain't Japan enough for me. And maybe that's me being like a bit of a fucking nerd in a really specific and annoying way. But I think a lot of people who play a lot of video games are probably also nerds in that very specific way. If you get what I am putting down. There's one race in particular I really liked. Let's see if I can find it. It is not the Electric Town Circuit, which did not... Oh, let's see. I think it's in the city. What would be the best way to find a thing that I did? I mean, there's not that many. I'm looking for the highway circuit. I believe is what it's called. There it is. This is as Ridge Racer or as Tokyo Highway Battle as the game has gotten so far, is this specific race. Like if you're looking for a game that if you, a fan of video games made in Japan, are looking for things that remind you of Japan through the lens of the video games you've played, this is that race. It's like when they put the LA Convention Center into games set in LA so that video game journalists go, oh, this looks a lot like LA, because that's the only part of LA they've ever seen. I have this set to like not a very high difficulty because you don't need the credits, and I don't want to race these races twice. I remember one of the first times I went to Tokyo, you take a, I mean, you can go multiple ways into the city, but like the airport is a little bit far away. And so you usually take a bus to your hotel. And as you get closer and closer to Tokyo, it like you go through a part of it on the highway, and you go through a tunnel. And you just look at it and go like, oh shit, that's why Ridge Racer looks like that. It's very silly. Culturally, it's very, I mean, but like, you know, my first time there, it was like, oh wait, holy shit. Another kind of interesting thing they've done is they've put like time attack loops just out in the world, and you can just queue up at them and go, and it keeps leaderboards on the fly. Like there's a billboard in world that shows who the fastest drivers in each class have been. But yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe they could have licensed the actual Ridge Racer soundtrack to put in the game if they were having trouble finding appropriate music. Maybe that would have been a way to go. Like, license a bunch of other video game driving music. You know, they've done homage stuff before. I think it was in 4, And they kind of spent they shot their wad there, I guess, but they had a series of side events that were like homages to different driving games from over the years, like Outrun and stuff like that. And it was really neat to have this like direct reference to these other classic video games inside of that game. And these events that, within the framework of what Horizon is capable of, they tried to recreate something that captured the feel of some of those games. And it was a really nice thing. It was really neat. And maybe that would have been better suited for this game. But they already did it. So, unless it's hidden in there and I haven't found it or whatever, because I have not 100%ed this game by any means. I think all the poses are way dumber this time around. What's the excuse for Tokyo being empty? The festival is here. Like, there's a couple of instances on the radio where they say, like, oh, because the festival's in town, like, they're restricting the roads for us, but... let's go do this side thing, and then maybe we'll see if anyone is playing any multiplayer stuff, and that's kind of about it. I don't know, you know what it is, right? Well, like, there's something culturally, about this. Like, everyone clowns on the, like, jazz cafe vibes of Gran Turismo 7, but, like, that's at least a vibe. Whereas this just feels like same as it has been.
You do the driving. Horizon Wave will handle the beats.
You've arrived at your destination.
I figured it out. We've had straight line speed, we've had off-road power, so next, we need to upgrade for the tightest roads in Japan.
A car built for cornering with power. Agile. Yes, Keiko.
We all agreed? Good. Now, I did some detective work already and scoped out the perfect car for this project.
Okay, follow me. I'll tell you about what I found on the way.
Okay, Keiko. We are following. Please, the car.
Only one of the most fun little nimble cars you could ask for. A Mazda MX-5.
Great choice. Known for fun cornering, but not
A lot of the,
Who owns the car?
when the voice work talks about cars, a lot of it feels like very salesy.
Otherwise, they wouldn't want to go from a fun at parties car to a this means business master of grip.
This is a good point and quite a challenge. I think we collect the car, then test. I have ideas, but more like cloud than concrete right now.
Like in one of the day trips around Japan, they put you in a really old Honda Civic, and then there's like 3 lines of dialogue on the radio about like the origins of the Honda Civic. But it's like like a lot of the other game stuff, like it is all incredibly surface level. Like there's no depth to any of it.
Because I know exactly how it drives. It's an MX-5. But how to change it? Make different. どうしよう. Good job I have my test driver, a great listener, and even better behind the wheel.
All right. Get yourself strapped in, and let's go.
MX-5. Fun cornering, playful, all-time classic. Please, I need all the cornering data you can get. We want to make this grip, so you can push the extremes, brake later, get on the power with confidence. Top speed is not my concern. We want cornering wins. These gear ratios need to be short. Race you. When you're out of a corner, you want to gear ready to use the available power.
You're thinking lower top speed but faster out the corners? What about suspension? Anti-roll?
Yes and yes. All right. Good data coming back. Keep going.
Attack these corners. Don't worry about traction. The MX-5 likes to be sideways.
Me too. So like not difficult to get back. Well, like, you know, it's like get it back without doing too much damage to it. But like it's a straight road and it's like a mile long. You know, there's not that many corners. There's not a lot of traffic. Like, you know, like, oh, yeah, it's not like a GTA mission.
All right, back out from the lab with our latest creation.
MX-5, now with added grip. There's more than that, but better to test. I'm looking forward to seeing the result.
He's excited. This is him at his most hyped, by the way. So, go on. Head out.
Thank you for putting hyped in quotes in the captions.
So, Yuji, confident this will turn?
With driver skill. This is now upgraded to hold onto a corner. Planted, traction. No fear cornering.
We changed a lot, Yuji. Still want to give him a rundown?
No. List is too long, but focus has been outside of the engine. We have sport brakes for stopping power into a corner, sport springs and dampers, anti-roll bar front and rear, all for stability. Driveline upgraded, and I fitted sports tires. They are the one thing that touches the ground. They have to grip.
I tuned the final drive. It's not speed off the top, but you'll have more acceleration to pull away, as promised.
Turn right.
Come on.
In 400 yards, turn left.
Satsuga! This flies through the
Like
corners.
literally, like, hey, drum and bass. Hospital Records makes a very specific style of music, right? That's what they're known for.
100 yards, turn
But
right.
literally, the entire radio station is
200 yards,
like very little variance.
turn left. In 400 yards, you will arrive at your destination. You have arrived at your destination.
3 down, 2 to go.
Is this base arena? Yeah, maybe
I think we
they
go
threw some on there
wild
too.
for
Then
this
I guess,
one.
huh?
What I'm hearing is leave Keiko to work while I relax and order parts.
You can never just relax, Yuji. But yes, I think I can come up with something wild. A little unhinged. See you both soon. Ja.
All right. Vocals muted, music muted, custom soundtrack on, immediate improvement. Yeah, you know, this game got me thinking a lot about custom soundtracks, and because like there's DJs on these stations that talk about things you've done recently, and that's kind of nice. It's not vital, but it's like after you beat a big showcase event or they'll like, oh, I hear the next showcase event is crazy and it's doing this and like that's cool. But you lose that. Like, the thing I always want out of custom soundtracks in video games is when you can integrate them into the game in such a way that the DJ stuff or whatever other audio thing they need still works, like still happens. And that's something that's very easy if you're, you know, and some games did do that, you know, if you're just like dragging MP3s into a folder or using Xbox custom soundtracks or whatever. I want to say, like, didn't one of the Saints Row games do that? But like they've done, like, games have done that over the years. But nowadays, with everyone just streaming music, the idea of doing that suddenly becomes a biz dev conversation about like, oh, well, now we have to integrate Spotify into this, and what if people don't have Spotify? They have Apple Music, and I guess we need to integrate it, you know, and they should almost just make an API that the streaming services can plug into and play the music accordingly or something like that. But like it's such a niche thing. Like, you know, who would do it? Am I using the Steam controller? No, because this is running through the Xbox store, and the only controllers it works with are X input controllers. So if I wanted to use the Steam controller, there's a program called Scissor that is, you know, like very much in development right now that you need to that is very much in development right now and is maybe not ready for prime time, but it is designed to kind of fake an X input controller, and so you could do that. But the game will launch on Steam tonight, and that Steam version will run through Steam input natively, whereas Scissor is designed to get Windows, like UWP games, to run through Steam input, basically. Which is you can do that with normal Windows applications without jumping through too many hoops, but Windows UWP apps are fucked for a lot of reasons. And so I can't even use the DualSense Edge that I like to use here. I have to use this other controller. But when it comes out on Steam, I'm sure it will support damn near everything. It's recommending we go to a drag strip.
You really got to grips with the upgrades. No pun intended.
Yards. Turn right. Turn right.
We're going back to the 1980s. You can drive.
You want small cars? It's got some. You know, I think they've had games in the past where they've had some pretty good tiny Japanese cars. Your K cars or whatever. We'll take a look at that in a minute here. You know what? Because we've got other stuff to do, I'll just try to fast travel here. Where am I going? There. I've already done this. Why is it recommending that I do this? Oh, it's recommending I do this. Right. That you can just go do the drag race whenever, or I don't know. Take this fucking truck. 1970 Jimmy. Driving around Tokyo in that. Yeah, you get, you know, you got like a 91 Honda Beat here. You got your City E2s. Some of these Nissans. But there's not enough, I'll say. Got this fucking thing that I decided to do like a motor swap on to get it up to A class. Let's see how this does in a drag race. Probably not great. I don't think it accelerates. Well, it's an EV. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine. Let's take some photos. Okay. Gotta take pictures of all the cars. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Oh, come on. This doesn't have the top speed. Try that again with a different car. I don't have any cars. Like I'm not doing any custom tuning at this point, and I, you know, I don't know if I will get deep enough into this to do that at all, really. But you know, you could in theory tune a car better for off the line performance.
Check. Horizon Wave. Let's do this.
I saw I did one of these. I did one of these drag races. And like off the line, it was like a fucking some kind of SUV Bronco looking thing. I don't think there are any actual Broncos in this, but it was, you know, Blazer, whatever it was. But it was, you know, that type of SUV, and it fucking like wheelied off the line, which was kind of cool. I think the last game had some of that too. I don't know. The thing that always annoyed me here in this specific screen, the pre-race car selection screen, is like, I have a lot of cars that I have not driven that like are not tuned to be at the top of their class. So like, as an example, A rank tops out at 700. This Ford Focus is 639. I should be able to push a button here and upgrade it to the top of A rank, which you can do if you like travel to the festival hub and do it outside of this screen. You can just automatically buy upgrades. I should be able to just do that here. And it's annoying that I can't. And it makes me stick to cars that I have like upgraded already because I know they're going to be like good for their thing. And they've never done that. And that's every game comes out and they don't do that. And I go like, why don't they do, like, why can't I fucking do this? It's crazy to me. But yeah, none of my cars are tuned specifically for drag, and I imagine they're going to put me against cars that are slightly tuned that way. So I'm sure that's like the drag races are like the one race I've been like losing pretty routinely. Are these drive-atars? Oh, these are drive-atars, baby. So that's Forza Horizon 6, It has barn finds. It also has what they call treasure cars, where they give you these photos of where the cars are, and if you find them, you can collect them, which is basically like a barn find, but not quite. I don't know. Like, they tell you what region it's in, and it's like, oh, this is near some radio towers, or this is, this is out back at the golf clubhouse, and so you can kind of explore around that way to find some of these cars. It's kind of weird to have both this and barn finds, but I don't know. The skill, this stuff is back. I'm not a fan of this like method of like skill point stuff. It's fine. I don't know. There are wheel spins. You get these profile badges for doing stuff.
Goodness. Here?
And there's, I don't know. There's multiplayer, I guess, right? Like, so you kind of have these hoppers to choose from. Let's see if we can find a Toge race. The game's only been out for a handful of hours, so I don't really know what matchmaking is going to look like right now. We must drive on all these roads. We must fill in all the roads. This is my purpose in life. How's the cockpit view? It's fine. Not every car is right-hand drive, as you might expect. A B-class Toge showdown. Just take that fucking truck. Just bully him off the road. I've been using that Miata for most B-class races. Is this event only for B-class cars? I think it's random. I think, you may very well match into, like, I think you end up with different, like, if we did this again, we might get A, or we might get S1, or, like... It's a curvy mountain road, and it's a one-on-one race, which is exactly what Toge is, right? Like, that's not the problem. I think it's just something that, like, did I miss that? Okay, no, we're good. I barely hit the smoke. I think, like, you could use Toge as like a progression, like you got to face off against someone who's a big deal. Like, there's story stuff they could have done and attached to the Toge racing to make it matter more. But they don't. And I think that's the answer to most of my questions about Forza Horizon 6 is they don't. They make the game that they've been comfortable making for years, and it is a very good driving game, and there is very little competition in this space, and it's a hell of a game. I wish that they had done more. When I think about finally setting this game, this franchise in Japan, and I think about the game they could have made, it's a bummer. But that's like, you know, on its own merits, it's really good. On its own merits, it's the next Forza Horizon game. It looks fucking fantastic. Like, it's a beautiful game. It has a ton of options. It has a load of content. Plenty to do and see. Do the cars turn into mechs? No, but there's a... You know, the showcase events have you racing a lot of crazy shit, right? I wonder what they'll do DLC-wise. With 5, they did the Hot Wheels stuff and a rally racing thing, which made sense because of, you know, Mexico like seemed like a very rally-friendly environment. And so I think there's an opportunity for them to like quadruple down on, you know, whether it's drift racing or, you know, just like something, but I don't know what that would bring. You know, like there's plenty of that in here already. Yeah, do you literally go all the way and do like an initial D expansion, which would be neat? But would that be a little too niche? I don't really know. This guy just dusts me off the line and stays there. Like, this is... Unless he makes massive mistakes, these are going to be 3 races I'm going to lose. But that's fine. Oh. Speaking of... If I can keep it together while that guy rewinds... Okay. I mean, they've done Fast and the Furious partnership stuff before. It would be very out of date, but like if they did a Tokyo Drift pack, that would be funny. But I don't know, like that's just like, you know, are we putting a car with Hulk hands on it in the game? I mean, yes. I mean, like absolutely. We should 100% do that. I'll honk my modem horn all day long, man. The horns are funny. They have Doom music horn, and they have banjo. If you were the sort of person who wanted a driving game where you could sing along with the official lyrics, they put Banjo-Kazooie music in here. If you wanted to sing about Spiral Mountain. when we're done here, I'll show you. I will show you the horns. We'll hit the horns. But yeah, they had a lot of silly horns in the last game. Like you still can have like the Microsoft Teams ring sound in here, which thankfully I don't ever use Microsoft Teams, so I don't recognize it. All right, one more. You have the Windows 95 startup sound. There are Windows sounds in there. I think it's a slightly different load of Windows sounds as they had last time around, but yeah, there are some in there. A USB disconnect sound. Yeah, that'd be funny. You could trick some people. A lot of turns on this one. All right. Maybe I should have just slammed him there on that turn, just full on T-boned him. Well, damn it. All right. Two to one. Oh, that is someone who works for Playground Games. That is the tag on Dude's gamer tag. All right. Oh, horns. What did we get? We got something here. It's another Mazda. Here you go. It's 45,000 credits. Useful for almost nothing. We need to go here to look at horns.
Welcome back, Jeff.
They should have put the horn, the good horn from Trackmania in here. So you have to work with someone. If you want to play the full song out there, you need to have one car with part 1 and another with part 2 and line it up. Does anyone remember the music from Battletoads? I don't. These were all in the last game. Were all of them in there? Okay, yeah, I know Doom was, and some of these other ones, but... yeah. Ah, yes, the Outer Worlds theme. There is a noise called level up, but it's not. Someone was asking if they had put the Call of Duty level up, like some kind of Call of Duty level up noise in there, but they did not. Why is guitar riff locked? Some of them are things you unlock for accomplishing things in game, and some of them are things that are just on the wheel randomly that you have to get. But yeah, like the Modern Warfare 2 level up noise should be in here. And that's not the air horn people want. Got fireworks. All the stuff off your favorite sound effects, royalty-free sound effects CD. That's kind of fun. This was, I believe this was in the last one as well. This was definitely in the last one. Yeah, those are the only 3 Windows ones. We'll change to Grunt Birthday Party. You can also buy houses, and there's one house with an estate concept where you can kind of lay out, kind of build your own tracks and like a little bit of stuff like that. Which you can also share those online and download them. This is one I downloaded. This is not one that I made. But you have to spend your credits on them. The catch is that if you break it all down, you get all the credits back. But even if you download someone else's estate, you have to spend credits to get the pieces for it. Which is, I think, kind of crummy. Just let people build shit. Who cares? Also, I don't know if you're seeing this on the stream, but look at the antenna on this car. Is it streaking? Streaking, streaking, streaking. This is something that they should probably fix. I have DLAA turned on. Actually, I should check. I've messed with the settings a handful of times. Oh, that's in this. Yeah. Yeah, that's with DLAA turned on. No frame gen. Kind of freaky, huh? DLSS is on too. DLSS has to be on for DLAA to be on because it's considered a part of that package. No motion blur. I have motion blur turned off, I believe, or at least set to short. I don't remember what I left it at. I messed around with that a little bit too, but we can go look at that. That's in here. Yeah, I have it turned off. We can set it to short. I imagine that's something they will fix. They did put out drivers, so I started playing this before the specific NVIDIA drivers that said that they were for this game were out, and I have since installed those, and it has not made a meaningful difference one way or the other. But yeah, that's a weird little artifact that I'm glad we got to show here. I forgot all about it. But the estate stuff, I don't know. Like, this is not terrible. You know, the things you can do to create your little estate thing, like, it's neat. But not something I feel like I would spend a bunch of time with. It's just kind of not why I'm here. See, you can only fast travel to roads that you've driven on. So I can't go here, but I can go here. We can go buy this house. Sorry, I'm just checking my phone to see if anyone needs me, but no. I gotta wrap up pretty soon here either way. But that's the game. Like, there's not much, you know. I feel like I have shown you pretty much the majority of what there is to show.
Best choice you could have made. Very traditional, and only for those that were willing to explore. Like yourself.
Okay. So the houses come with a perk here. You see the extra credits on when completing jobs. They're super expensive. And you can use them as like respawn points. But since you can just fast travel anywhere, like, this seems It's kind of silly. Yeah, sure. Let's set this as our spot. And you can customize these spots a little bit as well. The garage, you can, you know, pick places to put cars down, and, you know, like look at this tire rack. Do we want it here or do we want to move it? Like, I don't, you know, maybe fish supplies. We need that there. Perhaps you would be into customizing a space like this. I am super not. You know? Yeah, did it. Whatever. And you can pick a pose for the garage specifically while you're doing that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you can do that. I don't. Pick which cars we want to display. I think it makes sense when you think about the Forza series as like their remit being like, hey, we really care about car culture and all these different pieces of it. But when you think about the game not really doing an amazing job of kind of taking full advantage of what a game in Japan could be, I think that's where I'm... Okay, the stream seems to have died here, but we're still recording. Anyway. It's not letting me restart the stream. Anyway, to finish that thought, because you'll see this on YouTube, I guess. I don't think they did a good job of taking full advantage of Japanese car culture. That is my major problem with the game. The stream is perhaps back now. But yeah, I don't know why the stream died. Anyway. It's a nice game. I think they did a good job at making another Forza Horizon game. Like, that's the ups and the downs of it. I really feel like that there's more to be done with a location like Japan when we think about even just the rich tradition of fiction that exists about Japanese car culture. And then when you get into the reality of it, I think that's even more fascinating. And Forza Horizon 6 is just very surface level at that aspect of the game. And that extends to the soundtrack and I think even sometimes the car selection. You know, you look at that and go like, that could be better as well. It's hard to complain too much about that because there are like 600 cars in the game. But, and you know, they always put out so many cars as DLC and everything else. But like, I just feel like the vibe of this game is extremely off, or the vibe of this game is extremely on brand for Forza Horizon. They brought the festival. They brought a bunch of people with British accents telling you about how cool it is to drive cars, just like they always do. And I think that's fine. And again, there's so much more that I think they could have done here. With the setting, with the culture, with the, you know, just top to bottom, that I think would have made this a better game. And you know, like that's kind of where I'm at with it. And in retrospect, this actually, it's funny because I went back and played some Forza Horizon 5, and this game in some ways retroactively makes Forza Horizon 5 better and worse, because Forza Horizon 5 has all of its adventure stuff built in, where you go and you do this adventure thing, and all this weather and all this big sandstorm, and like, it has an atmosphere to it that this game lacks. it doesn't always get into the culture of the like Mexican car culture as deeply as you want it to, but like it has some of that. It has more of that, I think, than this game does. And the little personal stories about like, oh, we got to restore this car, and like I think the stuff in Forza Horizon 5 is done well. But also, this game is also retroactively made me realize that Forza Horizon 5 is extremely shallow and surface level about it as well. And so I think that's, you know, like it's funny. This is a really good game. It looks great. And I think you should know, you know, what you're in for is more Forza Horizon. And I think for the majority of people that will be plenty. If you're interested in a game like this, there are very few of them, you know. And this is a well-made game with a lot of smart and fun multiplayer options if that's, you know, what you're into, as well as plenty of things to do as part of the single-player progression. But my caveat is like, man, going to Japan could have been so much more. And when people said, oh man, they should do this game in Japan, I think all those people were thinking about something more than what this is. Anyway, that's it. It's out now if you spend a bunch of money on it. And then like, what is it, like Tuesday or whatever, it'll be out for people who want to play it on Game Pass, or people who want to just buy a regular priced version of the game. So check it out.